I write about my third book on the steal. The creeps come in and they start covering it up. And no group, well, look at me, FBI, no group was as corrupt as you. Nobody. I'm challenging you, FBI. This is Merrick Garland, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden's FBI and DOJ, Christopher Wray. You guys are liars, and you know it. You covered up for the crimes in 2020. And here's the bomb. I wrote a piece last night at joehoff.com saying, hey, get ready. We're going to drop a bomb on this show today. Here's the bomb. Our FBI is corrupt beyond belief, and they covered up massive crimes across the country, but especially in Georgia. They're complicit with these crimes. How can I say that? Because they came in and they allowed these lies to go forward. They did not investigate. They could not have investigated because the evidence is there. We have the evidence, FBI. We have the evidence of material crimes that were committed in Georgia after the election of 2020. Not only did we have video evidence that Rudy Giuliani released after the election, which from a professional auditor's perspective, I've done 200-300 audits around the world. I've presented to audit committees around the world. I've never seen anything so broken. If I would have walked into an audit committee and said, hey, we've got the evidence, it's right here on video, look at this, they would have said, fire those people right away. Fire them. And anybody who hired them, get rid of them. But our FBI stood up behind them and backed them up. And Joe Biden's giving these people awards. This is outrageous. Not only do we have video evidence, we have much, much more. So if something happens to me by this corrupt FBI, I want people to know we've got the evidence. We've got it. More than just video. We've got the evidence. We've got it. They know it. We've got it. We're going to drop this bomb piece by piece on these animals because we got it. Damn you, FBI, and damn you, DOJ, and damn you, Biden administration, and you criminals who stole this election, and Raffensperger and Kemp, all you guys, damn you for not standing up for the truth. We got the evidence. We got it. It's more than video. The video was enough. We've got more. We want you to know that. We want you to know it. Sit on that, FBI. Sit on that. This is breaking news at Joe Hoff show here on TNTRadio.live. This is breaking news around the world.
Welcome to the J.J. Carrell Show. That was Jim Hoff of the Gateway Pundit. You hear that passion? That's the passion of America, an American screaming out, I've had it. I've had it of being demonized, called vile names, spit at, verbally spit at. Sometimes even these men that Mr. Hoff being physically assaulted or people threatening their lives for what? For speaking the truth about the 2020 election that's now come out that Fulton County actually had 315,000 votes, early votes that should have never been counted. The majority of them all went to Biden. So the 2020 election was overthrown. This is just the beginning. We already know about Pennsylvania, Michigan. We already know about all this stuff, Ohio. We know all of it. All of it's a lie. The whole thing was a lie. Everyone knows it. Now it's become this monster that is growing that no one can deny now. Everybody, even the left, is now kind of shrugging their shoulders going, yeah, of course it was stolen. Of course it was. But no one's doing a damn thing. No one's going to jail. Like he said, Mr. Hoff said, Joe Biden actually awarded two of the women, the big fat women from Fulton County that stuffed the ballots, that ran through the machines. He actually gave them awards. Well, why wouldn't he? These were his foot soldiers that got him elected. Just so my audience is very clear on this, Joe Biden got 15 million more votes than any presidential candidate in the history of America. 15 million more. 15 million more than Mr. Obama. Twice. 15 million more than Donald Trump. Then the second Donald Trump got 10 million more votes. That's how many people wanted him to be back. No president has ever gotten that many more votes and ever lost. Never even got anywhere clear to 10 million more votes. But Joe Biden got 15 more million than all of them. Then here's the greatest. Here's the icing on the cake. The Democrats, their hatred for Donald Trump did not die from the 4 years. It accelerated to a way that they actually named it, gave it a mental disease. Trump derangement syndrome was at the height. But when Kamala Harris ran, 15 million of Joe Biden's ardent supporters didn't show up to vote. What happened to the 15 million? Has there been an expose? Has there been any CBS, NBC, MSNBC, haha, and anybody like 60 Minutes gone out and tried to find any of the 15 million people that didn't vote and ask them, why did you not vote? Why did you stay home? Why did you go out and vote for a demented old man that's a known racist that nobody liked, and you voted for him but you stayed home with Kamala Harris? 15 million. Well, they can't find them because they don't exist. The 15 million, they fabricated 15 million votes. That's how badly they knew they had to cheat in order to get him over the hump, because Donald Trump had 10 million more voters. America, this isn't just a stolen election. They committed treason and put America on a completely different path, completely different trajectory in history. We're trying to correct it now, but we have 30 more million people in our country that are illegal aliens, having babies at an unprecedented rate. Our country has been completely demographically altered. Our nation is systematically, county by county, city by city, state by state, being culturally and societally destroyed. Our country has a gigantic Muslim problem. Our nation has a rape, has a murder, has an assault problem that we never had before. We have now. Why? Because our election was stolen. And I'm going to harp on this, and I'm going to say it over and over again, because if we do not have arrest, if we do not have justice and law applied, we're no better than a third world shithole. And we're becoming a third world nation. You may have a pocket of your little town or community, and you're like, I don't see it in I'm doing good. Well, good for you. But the rest of America is not doing good. San Diego, California, LA, San Francisco. You may say, well, that's California. Too bad. Well, you think that cancer is going to stay in California? You think that cancer in New York City is going to stay in New York City? In Massachusetts, down the eastern seaboard? You think it's going to stay in Florida, in Texas, and southern Texas and Arizona? You don't think that's going to push all the way up? You don't think the Somalis in Minnesota that have already now planned a 2030 plan to overtake Wyoming is not going to happen? Do you actually think that's not going to happen? You think that cancer is going to just stay contained? Are you that stupid? There was an effort to destroy the United States of America. And it's going to be hard for you to hear, but they are succeeding. They have succeeded in upending our demographics. Now, they don't have to do anything. They don't have to make another chess move. They don't have to do anything except sit and wait, because time is the enemy of us, and it is the best weapon that they have. Time. How many of these third world mentally retarded people can have babies as fast as they possibly can to demographically upend the United States of America? A nation that was once 90% Christian white is now 56% and dropping in less than 50 years. And when that ball rolls and the acceleration begins, coupled with white Americans having no babies, it's a bad math problem. And within a generation, we will become the minority in our own country. That is not a good thing, as Joe Biden tries to make us believe. That is not a good thing. Diversity is not a strength. Why do you think all of these people wanted to come to America? Because we had it all. Well, why did we have it all? Have we ever stopped and asked ourselves, why were we great? Because we were a form of government called a republic. We were a nation founded and ruled on Christian values by white Christian settlers, by white Americans. Are you going to sit here and try to have an intellectual debate with me that America is better today than it was in 1970s, 1980s? You're going to have that intellectual discussion with me and think you're going to win? John Solomon, a great investigative journalist. He has a website called Just the News and a show on Real America's Voice. Listen to him talk about what a CIA 30-year operator told him.
Sat across from an intelligence agent, now retired, very senior. He looked me in the eye and said, the truth of the matter is we took the playbook for psychological operations and information warfare that we would use against our enemies, and we turned it against the American people to undo the 2016 election and to make sure they didn't elect Donald Trump in 2020. Now, that is a senior intelligence officer with more than 30 years of experience, a patriot who served in some of the most dangerous parts of the world, and he understood that the tactics of making something fake look real were ripped right out of our intelligence communities. Our intelligence agencies not only harmed Donald Trump, they were harming the American public, the national security interests of the American public. Sat across from an intelligence.
John Solomon's telling you that the CIA worked against America, and that's true. When you look at what our CIA does, what do they do to overthrow a government? Do they go in and start blowing stuff up? Or, no, of course not. But what do they start to do? They start to create civil unrest through sexual perversion, through LGBTQ, through all kinds of insane cultural and societal bombs. They cause chaos. They cause division, balkanization. They cause distrust. I just described to you the United States of America. Our government did this to us. There are many explanations of why, but there has to be a common acceptance and acknowledgement that the enemy of the United States of America is our own government. That's just a truth, a factual truth. 315,000 fraudulent votes in Fulton County, Georgia, played a large role in stealing the election. I'm going to play a video for you, but I want you to think about this in your mind. What major question has not been asked by anyone? I haven't seen it on X. I haven't seen it on my websites, people that I respect. Not saying, no one's asking this very important question. And I don't know why no one has. Maybe everybody just assumes the answer. 315,000 illegal votes were tabulated in Georgia's final account. Trump lost by 11,000 change. Here's the question that I want when you watch this video. I want you to ask yourself, why has this question, this one single question, not been asked? And that question is, who did all of those votes? Who did they vote for? What is the percentage breakdown? How many actual people? I want a number, not a percentage. I want a number. 315,000 votes that were illegal. Tell me what number of that 315,000 voted for Joe Biden. And I'm going to tell you, I don't have the data in front of me, but I'm going to tell you it's going to be the same percentage. I would like a number, but it's going to be the same percentage of the 600,000 votes that were found at 3 o'clock in the morning in Pennsylvania. 99.99% of all the 600,000 and all of the 315,000 in Fulton County went to Joe Biden. Now, you explain to me, like I'm 5 years old, how that is statistically probable. And you can't. Watch this video.
Do people not realize what just happened? Because nobody's talking about it. Everybody knows in 2020, Biden won the election with 81 million votes. Now, that was always a debated number, but it might not be debated anymore. Fulton County, Georgia, a county in Georgia where Biden won by just 11,000 votes, just had a developing story that changes everything. The Georgia State Election Board just admitted in court during a hearing that they didn't verify 315,000 votes in 2020 via early voting that lacked poll workers' signatures. So essentially, they were illegitimate and illegal votes. Don't believe me? This is a clip from the actual hearing where attorney Ann Broombaugh admitted that they don't dispute the fact that these votes were illegitimate. Check it out.
I've not seen the tapes myself, but we do not dispute that the tapes were not signed. It was a violation of the rule.
Fulton County claimed that they hand counted every single ballot. They literally threatened to arrest people for questioning the results of the 2020 election. This happened in one county. Remember, 315,000 votes in one county. How are we supposed to believe that this didn't happen anywhere else in the United States? How can I say that my vote matters? How can you say that your vote matters when things like this are happening, when people are illegitimately casting votes for parties that they like? They say to trust the system, but is the system clearly not broken?
The system is clearly broken and your vote does not matter. That's 100% factually true. Illegal aliens are voting. The Dominion voting system has been proven to be fraudulent. That's run out of Venezuela. We have no idea who has won any of our elections. Warnoff, that mental patient that was in the Senate. Do you understand that it wasn't just Joe Biden won? You got to remember, Georgia was the Senate seat that was teetering on. Does the Democrats have the majority or not? Well, they put a fraudulent senator in as well. This was an absolute takedown of the American system. And I'm going to say this again and again and again. And my question remains the same. Why has anybody, not one person, been arrested? Can anybody explain that to me? Can anybody have the intestinal fortitude to at least be honest and tell me why no one's been arrested? Pam Bondi, why has no one been arrested? This is low-hanging fruit. I don't understand. I honestly don't understand. I looked up, as a former law enforcement guy, I looked up the guy that was the special agent in charge in the Atlanta field office for the FBI. And I see that he came out and said, yeah, we interviewed these people and we found nothing. There's no evidence of any wrongdoing. Okay. We have the videos of the poll workers moving everyone out of the area and said, we're having to stop the voting because of water leak. There's no water leak. And these idiots don't even know that there's cameras, and they start pulling out ballots underneath their tables. All tabulating was supposed to stop. And they ran batches of ballots over and over and over and over and over again. Thus, the hundreds of thousands of fraudulent votes, and Joe Biden wins. This is what I would have done if I was FBI. I would have pulled out those, 3 to 5 people that were running ballots. I would line them up. I would have them face the room the interrogation room that I'm going to go interrogate them with their attorney. And I would tell them, everyone look to your left and to your right. We are all going to go into these rooms together. Like we're going to go into our separate rooms. We're all going in at the same time. And the very first person that gives me the information that I need will get a lighter sentence, and I will work with you. Everyone else, I'm going to go for the maximum time I can get for you. Years upon years upon years. And we're going to begin those interviews in 3, 2, 1. And then I would physically push them in the room. And guess what? Within seconds, I would have them banging on the door. Please let me talk to you. Please let me talk to you. But they didn't do it. Why? Because we go all the way back to the very first video, Mr. Hoff talking about the FBI is corrupt. And the FBI was 100% in on it. And yet we still have the FBI going today. And the FBI has done nothing. Zero. Nada. And then we listened to John Solomon say the CIA operative said, yes, we colluded, we created this scenario, and we destroyed the United States of America by stealing the election. This is beyond true comprehension, what has happened to America. And for this to have taken place, there had to have been thousands of people involved. And I'm going to show you this video. And it's long. And normally the podcast gods say you should never play a video maybe 2 minutes max. Really stay within under a minute. This video is 5 minutes long. And I have teetered on should I show the whole 5 minutes. When I was creating my show and laying it out for Nick, the producer, I sat here and I thought, I kept playing it and I was like, you know what? This is not a video you just stop. This is a video that has to play all the way out because it is the most damning video of what they did to America. What the left, what the rhinos, what Pence and all the gutless Republicans did on January 6th when they verified this election, certified it, knowing it was a complete lie, that it was all kabuki theater and a treason against America. But I want my audience to remember, because there's so many times that we have so much going on. Christmas is around the corner. A new year's coming. We have jobs. We have bills to pay. We have family to take care of. That we get so consumed that sometimes we forget. So I want to put it right back in your face for 5 solid minutes. And I honestly, this is without exaggeration, I could play these videos of Joe Biden for weeks on end. Not hours, not days, weeks on end, and never repeat the same video. This is what 2020 got us. This is the destruction of the United States of America. This man, this is how much they hate America. They put a demented old man in order to control him. They stole the 2020 election, and damn it, I want somebody, anybody arrested. Play this, please.
Anyway, and I don't want to maybe choose my words. I was just thinking, anyway, I just, look, I mean, Putin's kleptocracy, yeah. It was in January, after being elected, late January, early February. He said, it's not, we lead, not just... from Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa. The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able anyway, the idea that and Joan Shingang, I'm going to pronounce it, Shanga, but there's there to be beginning this effort and I want you to know that I want to thank you as well for with the nature not America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him. Look, a solid meeting with the Los Angeles and what am I doing here? From the
Five minutes. That's a long 5 minutes. That's just a snapshot. Like those are just snippets of endless videos of a man completely incapacitated. Why did they choose someone like Joe Biden? Because he was a dead man. He didn't run our country. He had no say in our country. His cabinet ran. The people that were behind this cabinet ran this country. They hired the most incompetent DEI people to be in his cabinet. They hired the dumbest, most incompetent, the most unsuccessful person to be his vice president, Kamala Harris. Because this was part of the stolen election. You can't steal an election and put someone in there that has their own mind and they're going to buck the system. No, you have to put someone in there that's dead, that's basically just a puppet, a hand puppet, and you run the government the way you want to run it through this dead man. And our country is fighting right now to get out of what they accomplished. And what did they accomplish? They accomplished the complete demographic upheaval of America. The birth rates of foreigners are skyrocketing over Native Americans. Crime is skyrocketing. Social benefits, welfare has been completely devastated. Illegal aliens are frauding tens of billions of dollars. We have people that are in the Supreme Court and positions in judges across our nation that are completely incompetent, completely put in there because of their incompetence. Our society and our cultural norms are being destroyed because we are a nation that is not tethered to each other in any way, shape, or form. We are balkanized ethnically, racially, economically, sexually. We are hanging on by a thread. By a thread. And there is no one that could sit here and watch those 5 minutes and think that America was better after the stolen election. And yet no one's been arrested. How is that possible? It's only possible if everyone in Washington, D.C. is guilty of something. And that is a hard thing for Americans to understand and to swallow and digest, that our government through and through is corrupt. Best way for you to support me is to support the companies that support me. One company, and let me say this before I promote this product. I use everything that I promote on my show. Everything. And this product, mypillow.com, I can look over to my left. I can see a closet I have in my room, in my studio. And there's pillows, like several pillows. I have family members coming over to spend the night tonight from out of town. Pulling those pillows out. I'm pulling out my pillow sheets and pillow covers, pillowcases, and I'm putting it on their bed or on the sofa. My bedroom, my wife and my bed, my son's bed, the guest bedrooms, all my pillow sheets, my pillows, my pillowcases, my pillow slippers, my wife's robe, the towels in my home, everything. My pillow is everywhere. Why do I love my pillow? Multitude of reasons. But my first reason is it's a great product. It's a great product. I love their products. I love everything about them. Second, I love Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell is a U.S. patriot. Been through the ringer and came out the other side, and he's still fighting to this day. And lastly, the product's made in America by Americans. That on its own will make me buy it. Even if the product was kind of, I don't know, I would still look into it. But when it's built in America by Americans and the product is superior, then I'm all in. I'm all in. Go to mypillow.com, use my promo code JJ. You're going to get an incredible discount. Go to mypillow.com, promo code JJ. It's Christmas. Ship it out to your family and friends, and they'll thank you later. Mypillow.com, promo code JJ. Other way you can support me is go to my website. I have an incredible website. The reason why I love my website for a multitude of reasons. I could have gone to Bangladesh and wherever and India and got somebody to throw something together. My website's run by a incredible web company here in Kansas, locally. I can drive to them. I can just drive over and say, look, I got some issues, whatever they are, or I want to create something different in my website. I want to add, subtract, whatever. I just go to them. They're incredible. And they created I think, an incredible website. I love it. I'm very proud of it. Go to my website, jjcarrell.com, or go to my Substack, jjcarrell.substack.com. Become subscribers. I would love you to become a paid subscriber, but if you just want to be a subscriber to get my emails, to get my writings, my articles, I'm all for that. Go to my YouTube and Rumble, hit the like and subscribe. That helps them not censor me as much, hopefully to the point where I'm never censored. That would be great. But spread the word. jjcarrell.com, jjcarrell.substack.com. Can't believe Christmas is almost here. What do we got? 2 days. As my son, when he was very young, my son Joseph would count down the days to Christmas by sleeps. Not by days, but how many times he had to sleep and wake up. So he would be, by this time in in his younger days, he would be like, Dad, we have like 3 sleeps, Dad. 3 sleeps and Santa's here. and I'd be like, yep, dude, 3 sleeps, my little man. And Santa's going to be here. I'm so hopeful, Joseph, that Santa's going to bring you what you asked for. And he'd be like, Dad, man, I really want this, Dad. I hope that he brings me this. And I would be sitting there and I would be like, man, I think he's going to do it. I think, the great thing about Santa is he just knows, man. And he knows what you want. He's gonna do it. I just think he's gonna do it. Of course, all my presents, all Santa's presents are tucked away. Man, I would kill to go back in time just for an evening of around this time, and his little dude is either taking a shower or taking a bath, and I'm drying him off and put his PJs on him and have him sit on my lap in the rocking chair, and we'll read a book or two. And get him into bed and listen to him talk about how many sleeps he has till Santa comes and how excited he is. Man, I know some parents that are watching this, I know that you are, if you have young kids, the stress of getting the presents and wrapping them and Christmas. And I know everybody would tell me you need to just take a breath and just enjoy it. And it was so hard. And when you hear that, you're like, dude, I'm driving to the mall right now. And I'm stuck in traffic. It's going to take me an hour to even find a parking spot. But I wish I would have taken more moments. So if you're a mom and dad and you got a young kid right now and you're watching, just even if it's 5 minutes, just stop. Just stop and listen to your children run around giggling and laughing because Santa's coming. They only got what? Today's Tuesday, so Thursday, so they got what? 2 sleeps and Santa's there? 2 sleeps. Man, I would kill for those days. Kill for those days again. What I would also kill for is, and I don't know if this ever existed, is the media is honest and truthful. I mean, Walter Cronkite was, quote, the last, right? The last great one, but now they're even coming out and going, no, that guy was a pure propagandist for the left. I don't know what's true or not anymore. I question everything. So in my mind, I'm thinking there was never any real media. There's always bias. But today, in today's media, they don't even hide it. It's so blatant. It's so in your face. The lies. And one of the lies that came out, and this is out of South Dakota in Sioux Falls, a gentleman was caught violent assaults, terroristic threats, and the picture that they showed was of a white man being arrested. It wasn't a white man. Watch this, please. This number 5, Nick.
What's up, America? Sioux Falls, South Dakota, man arrested, but I thought they almost got the wrong guy. And when I show you what I'm talking about, you'll say, holy fuck, because the media is seemingly being disingenuous on the race of the person that was arrested. Seems to be happening quite a bit. Let's take a look at what I'm talking about. So the original person arrested was Mohammed Mansoureh. The media initially said this was Mohammed Mansoureh. Yep, he looks like Mohammed Mansoureh, doesn't he? So this is the original story. Sioux Falls man charged with making terroristic threats. Guy's name was Mohammed Mansoureh. Unfortunately, this is actually Mohammed Mansoureh. As you can tell, not the guy in the image, which was some down and out white guy being charged. No, it was actually this man. Of course, the media portrayed it as a white guy being arrested and not Mohammed Mansoureh. Let me guess, because you don't want to seem racist or some type of phobic, right? And of course, to make matters worse, when you click on it, oh, look at that. It's gone. Hey, isn't that fun? Aw, so you figured it out. You knew you were full of shit. and you removed it trying to make it like nobody would find out, right? That you were demonizing white people as a matter of course, just as a matter of course, like an instinct. And so we're really going to believe all of the narrative the mainstream media puts out when you're seeing shit like this constantly. I mean, it's just an instinct now to make shit up for their narrative, isn't it? Just a fucking instinct.
Just an instinct. Why do you think they don't? Why do you think they put a picture of a white guy? Why? And not that savage. Well, that savage, obviously Mohammed, that guy's not American. Are you going to tell me that guy's an American? He's the third worlder from the continent of Africa to the Middle East. He's a savage. You could tell by the shape of his head that he's mentally retarded. You could tell there's no way that he has any rational, normal thought of what American would think. No, he is an absolute mentally retarded mental patient from the third world. You can't trust anything about the media. They blatantly lie. We showed the video last week of Jake Tapper. Actually, this, and I know my audience saw this because it was on my show. Jake Tapper's talking like I'm talking now, and right to this side, this side was a giant picture, like a quarter of the frame of a black man. There's not like, well, light skin. I really don't know what color he is. Maybe mix. I don't know. Creole from down in Louisiana where I'm from. Who knows? No. This was a black, just like Mohammed Mansari. You could say, that's black guy. Or if you look at me, you go, oh yeah, that's a white guy. I mean, there's no, I wonder what, right? So Jake Tapper literally has a picture of a black man that committed a heinous crime. And he said, well, they found the white man that did it. And you're like, you don't even try to hide anymore. Your propaganda is so bold, it's so in your face. And what makes me nervous, or not nervous, makes me concerned. These people don't make me nervous. So I need to correct myself. The left, I don't fear the left. They don't make me nervous. They're evil, sexually perverse, mentally insane people. They don't make me nervous. I'm concerned about them because of what they're going to do. And it makes me concerned because I'm thinking about this in a different way than, say, an average person. I look at their blatant propaganda, right in your face and lying. That means to me that they believe they're at their end game. And this is the last push. So they either believe that they are about to cross the goal line and win the game, or they believe their backs are against the wall and they have to throw everything at the enemy. And when people are desperate, they do wild things. When people believe they're almost about to win, and all I need to do is push my quarterback across that line and win the Super Bowl, that's where they're at. Nothing's going to stop them. And if they need to lie to you right to your face, well, then I'm just going to lie to you right to your face. I'm going to show you another video from another man talking about this exact same situation, but from a different perspective. And I find it worthy enough to do 2 takes back to back on this. So let's play this one, Nick, please.
Well, I bet you haven't heard anything about this story. There was a standoff today in Sioux Falls between a 28-year-old man and the police after making terroristic threats. And after an early morning standoff to which the man live streamed on Facebook, he was finally arrested and taken into custody and now faces charges of making a terrorist threat, possessing controlled substances, and obstructing law enforcement. And this is what the media had to say about it. Sioux Falls man charged with making terrorist threat. I want to pause here. Just take a second with me. Look at that photo. You got it? You good? Now I'm going to show you the mugshot of the man. I want you to guess, just guess as to what this individual perhaps looked like compared to the photo that the media put on the cover of their article. Everybody meet Mohammed Mansari, the 28-year-old man who made threats, endangering people. This is who the article was actually about. But this is the person that they put the photo for the front of the article of. Frankly, at this point, I don't know how anybody just doesn't trust the media. How do you look at this photo? How do you do that? That's not just an ignorant mistake. That's not just oopsie daisy. That is intentional. That's intentional.
It is intentional. It's not a mistake. I'm going to show you a video. This show this lady's going to go on for about 2 minutes. I think it's very important to watch the whole thing. is she talks about how the media lied about Charlie Kirk, how they lie about everything. You need to do two things. You can't not trust the media any more than you should. And you can't hate them enough. You have to know that they are liars. All media is liars. And you cannot dislike to hate them enough, because they are the enemy of our society and our culture and ultimately our country and our way of life. Watch this, please.
You do not hate the media enough. Let's remember what just happened like 5 minutes ago with the immediate response to Charlie Kirk. ABC almost immediately decided they were going to take this time to romanticize Charlie Kirk's assassin. Do you remember this?
We have seen an alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate, who is transitioning, calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love. So it was this duality.
What the actual F, honestly. But it wasn't just ABC. It was MSNBC, whose immediate response to Charlie Kirk being shot was to blame it on a supporter in the crowd, a fan of Turning Point USA, listener of Charlie's radio show, shooting their gun off in celebration that he had come to speak at Utah Valley University.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea.
We have no idea. This clearly was a right winger. Those violent fascist sympathizers. I'm not over it. And maybe I'm still working through the stages of grief. But frankly, the more of this I continue to see from the media, the more angry I am that we live in a society that doesn't drag this out from the darkest shadows of our society into the light and call it what it is, which is violence-inducing propaganda, which is putting a target on your back, which is gaslighting you into thinking you are the bad guy in society, when it is in fact these multi-billion-dollar corporations controlled by a very small handful of the same people who are all in bed together to change our society fundamentally. I'm not over it. And you should not be either. Because the truth is, it's not just Donald Trump getting selectively edited videos from January 6th. It's not just Charlie Kirk being targeted by ABC or MSNBC. It's you. And if this happened to any of you, they would respond the exact same way. I will scream this until my dying breath.
The media is vile. Let's look at the something that's recent that happened. Rob Reiner and his wife were slaughtered by their son, like butchered. We quickly learned that he has severe mental problems, of course. And then we learn and get scrubbed that he was transitioning or in some form of being a transgender freak. So he must have been on severe narcotics. And then we go through this Rob Reiner. It's just a good dude. He's a good dude. He was American patriot. No. Rob Reiner hated you if you were a conservative. He called you vile names. He thought that you should be jailed, put into some kind of hole somewhere. You are a vile, vile human being. He was part of the Russia hoax. One of the big movers and shakers. He hated you. Do I wish that type of death to die at the hands of your son? No. Do I want you to be stabbed to death and die in your pool of your own blood at the hands of your son? God, no. I don't want that on my worst enemy. What I want is justice. What I want is truth and acknowledgement of the way a man was. Just because he died a horrific death doesn't mean that I have to, by the media standards, hold him up as some pillar of righteousness when he was my enemy that helped create the Russia hoax. Watch Rob Reiner and watch him lie to America right to their face and use his position of a power, authority, media contacts to spread what eventually became known as the Russia hoax.
I'm Rob Reiner, and America, we've got a problem. We've been attacked by a foreign enemy power, and our president refuses to defend us. Donald Trump is meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin one-on-one in a closed-door meeting with no aides present and no record of what will be said. Putin's government attacked our democracy by interfering in the 2016 election to help Donald Trump become president. That is not in dispute. It has been verified by all U.S. intelligence agencies, the Republican-led Senate Intelligence Committee, and the U.S. Justice Department. Trump and his campaign's conspiracy with Russia is the subject of a federal investigation. I'm Rob Reiner.
And you are a meathead. And you're dead. Boy, I'm sure, you know what? I know that I'm going to die. When I die, I'm going to have massive pleading with God to get into heaven. That jackass is going to have had a lot of questions. I hope he's in heaven, but he's going to have a lot of explaining to do, meathead, because everything you just said was 100% factually untrue. All of it. All of it. But the media spins him to be this giant. Did he have talent? Of course he did. He made great movies. Awesome. But you hated us. You hated the unwashed masses of middle America. I know you hated people like me, an alpha male in law enforcement, arresting illegal aliens. I know that you despised me. I'm just equally going to despise you back without fear of being called vile names by the media. Who cares? One thing I learned long time ago, and it was hard in high school and college, to begin to weaponize myself in a way, protect myself, that, and to convince myself that other people's opinions of me doesn't mean anything. Who cares? And now as I get older, I absolutely give no fucks what anybody thinks. Zero. I don't care. I honestly, not one thing in my life do I care what you think about. I don't. I do know that I have a counted amount of breaths left. How many? I don't know. But I know they are numbered now. They've always been numbered, but now I can count them because the numbers are increasingly smaller every day. So I won't give 1 second of what I believe in, 1 second to bend a knee, 1 second to apologize, 1 second to even care what you vile human beings believe on the left, and the gutless rhinos will not. One of my sponsors, who I love, sat123.com, allows me to be prepared because I don't care. I know that I have a target on my back, that I have rankled a lot of people, that I have sat in front of Congress and called them out, that I have a popular show that calls them out, that I have best-selling books and documentaries that call them out. I know that I need to be prepared, and this is one of the partners that I use to be prepared. You don't have to utilize sat123.com the way I do. It's fine. We all have different lives and different levels of concern, different levels of needs. But I will say this, every single American needs to go to sat123.com and at least several of their products. Let me tell you what I have in my house. I have a generator with a solar panel. Live in the Midwest. Tornadoes, cloud seeding, you name it, it could happen. I also believe that we're closer to a civil war than maybe people want to know. And I don't know what that civil war is going to look like. It's not going to look like the one in the 1800s. It's going to look very, very different, I believe. But you need to be prepared. The biggest reason to be prepared is connectability with your family. So the second thing I have are sat phones for my wife and my son. I get a sat phone for free when I have a monthly subscription. I think it's $95 a month. I spend that on coffee or whatever by the first week of the month. Now I have connectability with my family. And the third thing I have, well, I have Faraday packs. So maybe I throw that in there with self stuff. But let's say the fourth thing I have is a ballistic backpack for my wife and my son and myself. A ballistic backpack. Yep, for my son. Hard to believe that we live in a nation like this, that I need a ballistic backpack for my son, but he has one. Go to sat123.com/JJ, sat123.com/JJ. Oh, I have, dang man, show's almost over. I'm looking at my clock up here. You know, I'm maybe going to save this for tomorrow, Nick. If you haven't seen this, just prep yourself for my show tomorrow, and go watch the videos or the video of the DEI hire. Her name is Pamela Smith from Washington, D.C. That same Pamela Smith that doctored all the numbers of murders and rapes and all assaults and watered them down in D.C. that made it look like she had a great a great police force, and everything was done and everything was beautiful. Her name, Pamela Smith. I want you to go and Google the video of her farewell speech and tell me if you want more DEI, if you want more grossly incompetent, intellectually inferior, emotionally erratic people to have your life in their hands. Man, if you watch this, I'm going to show you this tomorrow. It's going to just blow your mind. You're going to think this is a Saturday Night Live skit. That's how over the top it is. It's insane. We're so close to Christmas. We're so close to New Year's. I can't believe 2025 is over with. I can't. It went by so fast. And as 2025 approaches, I continue to come back to the same question that I ask myself is, why has no one been arrested? Why is our country in this dire strait? It feels as if I have, or the country has, just a few stacks of chips left. And we're playing poker, and I've just been dealt my last hand, and I've decided I have to go all in. That's the feeling I have right now. I feel as if I'm going all in, that America is all in, and the dealer is flipping the cards over, and I'm holding my breath, knowing that that last card that's coming down, it's going to set the course of history in motion, and there's no turning it back. I'm either going to win all of it, the whole pot, and become wealthy, or I'm going to be destitute living under a bridge. That is the feeling I have right now in America. That's not hyperbole. That's not trying to get clicks. That is just how I feel. I feel we are on the precipice. Donald Trump actually said 2 weeks ago, we are on the brink. We can go either way. We can go good or bad. And it could be great, or it could be just horrific. There ain't nothing in between. There's no, I'm going to split the pot with you. We're both going to go out with a little money in our pocket. No, we're going to go all in and win and be great and have absolute incredible life, or we're going to lose it all, and we are all going to live under a bridge and die a very, very painful, lonely, sad, depressing life. And I know you feel the same way I do, because I see your comments on my videos. I see the emails. I read them when they come into me. I'm in the hundreds, if not thousands. We feel this way because God has put into us our intuition. And our intuition is right. We have been sold. We have been had treason committed against us. We have the enemy is within our government, our media, our elites, and we're fighting for the soul of the United States of America. We are in a war. And as soon as you understand that, the more prepared you will be, because we are in for a war for the soul of the United States of America.